Welcome to the Under the Bus podcast. I'm your host, Merge, and I'm here with Clayton. What's up, Clayton?
Hi, Merge.
So, the NBA is back, and I know time for previews is it's a little late, but it's only one game and 2 games in the NBA season.
One game, and I don't care what anyone has to say about it.
And this one game might have changed the whole Atlantic Division on top of its head, but we'll get to that later.
I'm going to say something. Every single time you say the Atlantic, it sounds like you're about to say Atlanta.
The Atlanta Division, no.
The Atlanta Division.
How is Atlanta not in the Atlantic Division? That's what I want to know. First of all,
it's a good question. I have no idea.
They're in. What are they in? They're in the Southeast. That makes no sense.
They're in the South.
It just flows together well. Anyway, First off, we're going to start with some Laker news. Lakers start their season on Thursday against the almost said Philadelphia 76ers, the Los Angeles Clippers, for a Laker home game. I am cautiously excited for the season. The biggest debate right now, it really isn't a debate. It seems really one-sided for Lakers Twitter, but it's still a debate for some reason. Is the starting power forward position. As of right now, if I had to guess, Larry Nance Jr. will be our starting power forward come Thursday. Why? Who knows? Go ask Luke. But Clayton, what are your opinions on the starting power forward battle?
One day it annoys me, the next I just really don't care, because really what matters at the end of the day is who is playing the most minutes and who's ending the game.
Right.
Nance looks like he's going to be the starter, and Luke can do whatever the heck he wants. It's stupid, but whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Randall has been the best player on film, and according to Courageous McBasketball.
Oh yeah, his defense stats. Man.
According to Tim, almost all the numbers lean Randall's way as well. So not only is the eye test correct, but the numbers test shows it as well. And oh my word, USA Network, just terrible. Show me something, something in the background. Anyways, Nance, if anything, he should be the end of the bench guy. Not like because he's bad, but like he hasn't earned it.
Also, his player characteristics are very bench player.
Yeah. And I understand, like, he will probably play up better with Brooke and Lonzo and everyone, but then that also takes away from them as well, because having a guy that can initiate his own offense like Julius, especially with Brooke being able to stretch the floor, it's just pretty stupid not to.
They're also like the argument with Larry too. I've seen is he's not going to try to take over the play in this ISO. Actually, according to Tim, he's very much turned down his ISO possessions, and which is why he's so much more efficient. Not so much more efficient, but he's at league average for efficiency.
Yeah,
and he hasn't changed like a lot in that aspect. He just hasn't been going to ISO a lot. Which, if he's not isoing the ball a lot, then putting him as a playmaker and giving, some leeway off of Brandon and Lonzo would help them, honestly. I mean, I don't want them completely initiating the offense. I think Julius and to a certain extent KCP are going to handle that if Julius started, obviously. The third man, he isn't going to start, but Kyle Kuzma, I'd be 100% fine with starting Kyle Kuzma. I wouldn't be mad at that at all. It won't happen, but it wouldn't bother me if Kuzma started. It's just Larry has been the worst of the three, and it just doesn't make sense.
I agree. It's just stupid. It's just I don't like it. I've been saying for last year, we need to clear big men. The NBA is going away from especially traditional fives, and we've got
Four.
Four fives, and really like 4 or 5 fours.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So you've got 8 to 9 guys that will be needing to play minutes at those two spots. That's not smart. And while I don't think Bogut's actually going to get as many minutes as people are saying, which I'm probably going to be wrong on that.
Hey, we're gonna come back tomorrow, and he's gonna be. We're gonna come back Thursday, and he's gonna be getting off a 25, 30-minute game.
Oh yeah, it's just.
And Kuzma's gonna get like 12 minutes.
I've repeatedly said this season is not about winning.
Mm-hmm.
While they do need to win, obviously, because of they're trying to draw people, right? You obviously need to do that, but at the same time, the main things that you're looking to do is develop guys. Still, you're looking to develop Lonzo. You're looking to develop Ingram. You're looking now to develop Kuzma, Randall. Is Randall going to be part of the plan? If not, then you should just trade him still.
Yeah,
he's if he wasn't the best player this preseason, I'd be surprised for us.
I'd argue Kuzma, but
yeah, I mean the two of them they were both really, really good.
Yeah.
So it's just if you're not planning on bringing him back next year, and unless like they can make him agree to like a Kawhi thing where they sign 2 guys and then they get him on a cheap deal,
yeah.
Which I mean, I'm just meaning that Kawhi he could have extended, but he didn't.
Yeah.
If you can work something out like that, then yeah, sure, I guess. But you're probably going to end up just don't let him go for nothing.
Right.
But I've been saying forever just to clear guys out. And right now, Larry is the clear guy to move.
Yes.
Because Kuzma is already better than him.
Mm-hmm.
And Randall has shown that he's better than him.
Yes, and they both have higher upside than him too.
Yeah, and Nance is a good player. He's a valuable piece.
Mm-hmm.
But you should move him for a wing.
Right.
Move him for some type of failed prospect wing.
Right.
I think you could probably get Larry for Mario Hezonja, and then you could probably get something on top of it.
Yeah.
Friend of the podcast or old podcast the backdoor cut, man. Jacob Rude had a piece over at Lakers Outsiders about that. It wasn't exactly the trade that I'm talking about, but you just need 2 threes.
Yeah,
and we've got lots of big men, lots of big men.
Right. Before we move on to backup point guard, I want to talk about for a second who you think the Lakers should start at the 2, or what the lineup should be with KCP missing the next 2 games. If you guys didn't know, KCP will not be playing his first 2 games because of a DUI suspension. From early out of practice, it seems like Luol Deng is going to start in place of him, which gross, but Luke's going to do what he wants to do.
Mm-hmm.
I think if Josh Hart if he doesn't hurt his Achilles, he might have the edge at this 2 spot. But unfortunately, he hurt it, and we don't know how long he'll be out for. It's not that serious.
But they say it was some type of bursitis or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, I'm guessing he's out for a week if he's out for any sort of time. But a week is those 2 games, obviously. But for me, I'd want Josh Hart if he's healthy there. If not, I would just go with Ingram and Kuzma at the 2-3. I'd rather have that than Deng starting. Or Brewer or JC starting.
Brewer should not be even in consideration.
Oh, well, he is.
JC, I mean, I'd trade him for a bag of chips right now.
Yeah.
I know people love him still, but whatever. I don't care. Man, I just don't know. That's my problem. Like we have so many dang bigs, like we don't even know who like to start because KCP's out and because Hart is hurt.
Yeah.
Like Corey Brewer, everyone's like he plays good defense. No, he doesn't. He doesn't play good. He doesn't play good defense.
He's active, and that's really it.
Everyone needs to go. Yeah, everyone needs to go read the John Wooden quote about being active. It doesn't actually mean you're doing anything. Okay.
Yeah.
Just because he's active doesn't mean he's actually doing anything productive.
Shout out to Russell Westbrook on defense, but we'll get to Russell Westbrook.
Kuzma would be a guy that I'd like to start and then like just move Ingram to the 2.
Mm-hmm.
But then your bench consists of just Jordan Clarkson, and everyone knows how much I love that.
Julius, because it seems like Julius is probably.
Oh yeah, and Julius. So, but that's a terrible bench. So,
yeah.
I really wouldn't want to be Luke right now, but if it's if people are gonna really complain about Dang, I have some news for you. Like if you thought he was just gonna ride the bench, what were you thinking? The dude is going to play. It's not even a question.
Yeah.
So he's gonna be playing. Bottom line, he's gonna play. So just get used to it.
Yeah.
The question is where is he gonna play? And that goes back to he should be a 4 and yeah.
Yeah. Who do we play first 2 games? We play the Clippers and the Suns. So Austin Rivers and Devin Booker are going to be the guys we're going to go up against. I really don't want Ingram up against Devin Booker, if I'm being completely honest. I think Booker will just run around and Ingram will get hit by screens. But
really, I don't want anyone defending Booker, anyways. He's overrated compared to what everyone thinks he is. At the same time,
he's still a really good scorer.
Yeah. No one on that team other than KCP is going to be able to defend him. They could defend him on switches and stuff like that. But
actually, I think Josh Hart could do a decent job on him.
I'm thinking,
guys who
that he's hurt.
Yeah.
So I think Hart could do okay against him, but I'm also of the thinking that he's probably going to be out the first 2 games or so as well.
Yeah. And as we transition to the backup point guard spot, this is another very unanimous decision on Lakers Twitter right now. I think everyone, let's say most people want Alex Caruso as a backup.
If you don't want Alex Caruso, I'm questioning you.
It just makes the most sense. Tyler Ennis doesn't bring anything, really.
Whatever Ennis does bring, Caruso brings except better. Which is sad because Caruso is an undrafted guy who spent all last year in the G League, and Tyler Ennis has been on 4 NBA teams now,
and he was also a top 20 pick.
Yeah, and people thought, 15 games really means something at the end of the year. Yay!
You must be reading Spectrum's script for 4 games, man. Caruso, he just pushes. He brings some of what Lonzo brings. He's gonna bring that same energy. He's gonna bring that same playmaking, at least willingness to pass. I'm not saying he's a better or as good of a playmaker as Lonzo is, but
he's also a good passer.
He's a good passer. He made some nice passes during the preseason. So I just think, and there's just so many fun lineups you can do with Caruso. He's
also 6'5" and not a snail.
Yeah, and he's he can defend.
Ennis, I think, is the least athletic player on the roster. And
Zubac says hello.
I was going to say, and that's saying something because we have guys like Zubac, and we've got guys like Dang, and we
got Andrew Bogut.
We got Andrew Bogut, and Tyler Ennis is looking at all of them in any athletic testing like, what can I do to improve myself? You can't because you're not athletic.
There we go. So in recap, start Randall, back up Caruso, and start Josh Hart.
You know what? I'm gonna go even further, and I've said it repeatedly on Twitter, and others have too. Cut Ennis.
Yeah.
Cut Ennis. What is he doing on the team? Like, stop thinking that 15 games at the end of the year means anything.
I mean,
like, it doesn't mean anything.
You know who we could have had instead of Tyler Ennis? We could have had Wade Baldwin, Gary Payton II.
He still hasn't been picked up. I'm praying it's not going to happen.
No.
And tomorrow someone's going to have either claimed him or he's going to be on a two-way somewhere, and I'm going to be sad. And
because we have also breaking news, Vanderbilt is our second two-way.
And because Vanderbilt is our second two-way, and that's stupid. It's
backup JC. Hey, if JC gets hurt, we got a backup one. It's okay.
Yeah. When JC finally gets traded, we got a backup JC. Wonderful.
It's all. Yeah, man. He's JC without the personality.
Okay. Vanderbilt. Darius Soriano put it a great way. Vanderbilt is a fine fourth or fifth guard, but he's not. I don't know if I would say a fourth guard, but he's a guy that's fine at the end of the bench. You know, like a 14, 15 man, whatever.
Yeah.
But why? Why? Like, the two-way contracts were not meant to be like, hey, let's find someone who has been in LA and let's reward him. No, that's stupid. I think Ben Rosales said it today in a Twitter. He beat me to it. This isn't baseball where you reward, at the end of the season, some guy that has been in the minors for like 10 years. Like, no.
Yeah.
You wasted a spot on Vanderbilt. You know who knows who Vanderbilt is?
Marquette fans
and general Laker fans that don't know that he's not very good. He was the NBA DL MVP last year. Yeah, but because he's a ball hog.
I'll always remember the Vanderbilt, Tariq Black, Jabari Brown lineup, our last game a couple years ago. I'll always remember that. Fond memories with Vander. Okay. One more thing I wanted to bring up before we get started. There's a big topic when it comes to contract. There's a bunch of restricted free agents who weren't signed, but the biggest one by far who was signed was Joel Embiid of the Philadelphia 76ers, who we will also talk about. But Clayton, what are your opinions on the contract?
It had to be done.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no question about it. It was going to happen. Yeah.
I mean, that guy's a top 15 player when he's playing.
Yeah.
He's potentially.
It's going to happen. I mean, like, is he going to be healthy? Who knows? Maybe. I doubt it.
Who knows?
but I mean, he's shown best player in the NBA potential.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And they've completely built that team around him.
Yeah.
Like Ben Simmons, yeah, he's going to be good. All right. Markelle Fultz, though people, especially Lakers fans, want to laugh at like his free throw shooting motion. Like, okay, whatever. He's going to be good.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
They got JJ.
They have JJ. They're likely going to be a playoff team, in my opinion, just because of how crappy the East is. But that team is built around Joel Embiid.
Oh,
if he doesn't develop, or like if he can't stay healthy, okay, fine. Like, your ceiling just took a huge hit, Like, and I hate building around fives anymore, but that is the type of guy that you are building around. And if you want to say like, well, they strapped themselves in the cap. Who was coming to Philly?
And also if he's Joel Embiid that I know, he's gonna be completely worth that money.
Oh yeah, I mean, but seriously, like, who was going to Philly?
LeBron, dude. Pair LeBron and Ben Simmons. They have the same agency.
Yeah, I've got.
There we go. Joel Embiid, he's pretty good. Also the Sixers kind of saved themselves in this too. They protected themselves from his injuries. I haven't read it, but apparently the contract's like 22 pages long, and
I remember it's completely insane. It's probably the most complicated contract ever.
It trumps the Ejon Leon contract of last year. It really does.
I still say they should have somehow found a way to keep him on the roster just because of that contract.
Just so we can have him for the contract.
Yeah,
but
ship him off for nothing.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. There are a few big names too who didn't get signed or restricted free agency. We're not going to talk about them specifically, but it's going to be really interesting in free agency to see if any of them switch teams. And I honestly could see a couple of them honestly moving. Anyway, so to our main topic. First, we're going to start with the Atlantic Division for obvious reasons. If you paid attention to any basketball today, first of all, first game of the season, it's Celtics versus the Cavs. Everyone's excited, right? It's Kyrie versus LeBron. Everyone wants to see if Kyrie does anything or if LeBron does anything. And you're 4 minutes into the game, you see Gordon Hayward cutting back door for an alley-oop. Kyrie lobs it, and man, Gordon Hayward fractures.
I'm sorry. I'm still just sitting here stunned. I have Atlantic Division NBA, and I got Atlantic Division NHL. Google is drunk. It's very, very, very drunk.
Gordon Hayward, I believe I saw two different diagnoses. I saw one from Brad Stevens that said he had a dislocated ankle and a fractured tibia.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also saw a fractured left ankle. Either one of those injuries, he'll probably be out for the whole season. That greatly changes, well, one, the Atlantic Division, but two, all of the East.
Yeah. If you don't know what the tibia is, that would be your shin bone.
Yeah, and I think that's what Odell fractured.
I haven't paid attention to football. I don't care.
I want to say that's what Odell fractured because I know Odell tweeted about it when that happened, but
still don't care.
It's a pretty brutal injury. It's nothing like. I don't think he's gonna be like Paul George for like a year and a half. I think he'll be back beginning of next season, but
Paul George wasn't out a year and a half. He
wasn't he?
He hurt. No, he hurt. He was out like 10. I mean, like it was like 9 months or something. He hurt it during the summer.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
At USA team, and then came back like the last like 10 games of the season, I think.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. I forgot it was so like early in the summer too when that happened. I mean, if he did what he did when Gordon did it,
yeah. I would suspect that
they just hold him out, so just to be very safe,
Yeah. If I was a betting man, I would just say they probably hold him out for the year.
Right. And
you don't want to risk him coming back, and I mean coming back from an injury like that was also like very visual.
Yeah.
Like they're gonna be in their head with something like that. So
yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if he's out for the year. That said, it's October. In two months, it's going to be December. So, I mean, he could be back. Someone said March.
I saw 4 or 5 months.
Yeah, 4 to 5 months. So, he could maybe be back March or April. So, like the end of the year. It wouldn't surprise me, especially since they're trying to compete for a title now.
Mm.
It wouldn't surprise me. I would probably just.
Yeah,
it obviously really just depends on how he heals.
Yeah, I mean,
I would probably just hold him out.
You can just roll the same lineup back next year, maybe minus Marcus Smart off the bench, but who knows if they re-sign him or not. But
he's a restricted free agent. It doesn't matter. They'll match anything.
They can just roll it back next year with pretty much the same roster, and just try it again. So I don't think you're really. This isn't like Kyrie and Gordon are both on 1 year deals. It's you can let it run for a little
LeBron
bit.
could potentially be gone.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, obviously, someone else in the East could be traded away to the West.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Other than like Giannis, who else could be traded? And then, I'd be shocked.
yeah. So this definitely puts down any sort of prediction or projection pretty much anyone had for him. Obviously, Gordon Hayward is a top 20 player. He's an all-star. He's arguably your best player, right? And you lost him. He's a big part of your offense, so you're obviously going to lose more games.
Well, now they lost a playmaker and a shooter and a defender. So, especially now with his loss of shooting, like they're going to be. They should already be calling Anthony Morrow up. I mean, they don't have any true specialists other than Marcus Smart, because even though he thinks he's a scorer. I do like Marcus Smart more than most, especially Laker fans, but they need shooting really badly now, because you have no idea what Jaylen Brown's going to be. Tatum, I wasn't huge on being a knockdown shooter, so you're depending on Kyrie and Horford to be able to shoot,
and Marcus Morris.
I think he only shot 35%. I'll check it out.
Okay. Well, the big question is going to be who's going to take his spot, because I think they're going to slide Jaylen down to the 2. I think, or I mean, they might just start Marcus at the 2 and have Jaylen at the 3, and then once
Marcus is not Smart.
Yeah.
Okay.
Marcus Smart, they can just have him at the 2 and Jaylen Brown at the 3. But it's going to be interesting to see, because I think their lineup today was very matchup dependent.
35% career 3-point shooter.
Okay.
4 years ago, he shot 38%, but he hasn't. It's 35.8, 36.2, and 33.1 the last 3 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
So you're looking at a 35.5.
Yeah. Well, I think I do think Marcus Morris does start when he comes back, but their starting lineup is very matchup dependent. I remember them starting Aaron Baines their first game of preseason.
Yeah, that's supposedly what my Celtics buddy said that's going to happen. My question really is, sorry to interrupt again.
Sorry.
My question is do you say F that and just roll with the lineup that you just played?
I think this lineup was very
someone obviously to slot into Horford's spot, not obviously fit his role.
Yeah.
But you kind of have to, in my opinion, if you're not trying to win, you kind of have to go with Jaylen and Tatum.
Yeah.
I mean, that bench. I need to look at their bench, but
the bench. I believe it's Rozier. Well, if Marcus Smart starts,
well, I mean, Terry Rozier is a superstar, obviously. So never mind. They're winning the championship.
Hey, who cares? You lost.
I mean, obviously the Warriors took a step back, and if you look at my last retweet by what's his name, I lost it already. Apparently, the Rockets won the championship with how happy they were.
It's I don't know. It's gonna be tough for the Celtics. If somehow the Celtics get a top 4, top 3 seed, then Kyrie deserves MVP, because I don't know how else that would happen right now. Honestly,
I still think they're a 4 seed. I don't really see the issue with that.
I mean, I think the Bucks and the Heat could pass them up.
The Heat?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know, man. It's the continuity thing with the Heat.
Goran Dragic is gonna have to become MVP level. Goran Dragic.
Do you realize how the East isn't good, right?
I do, but I also realize the only teams that I thought were in real contention for the East, anyways, were Toronto, Cleveland, and Boston. And like then you could have Washington, and then maybe you have Miami. I mean, like probably with Washington, I probably have Milwaukee. I still think they're a year away, but the Miami one, that's a very very curious one. You're relying on James Johnson being as good as he was again, and I don't see that happening. And I mean, we all love Waiters Island, but yeah. Right now, I would not. Let's just put it this way: I wouldn't really want to be a Heat fan right now.
Oh yeah, they're in cap hell, but
they're cap hell. Like you paid Kelly Olynyk how much money?
I believe it was like 4 years. I want to say 68, but I might be wrong.
Yeah, it was. I don't remember the exact numbers, but it was stupid.
There, with Hayward going down, obviously, Kyrie's gonna have to take a lot more responsibility, scoring wise and leadership wise. I think scoring wise. Now I can see him putting close to 30 up, to be honest, because he's gonna have to. They're gonna need Jason Tatum to step up. They're gonna need probably Shemi Ojeleye to step up a little bit too. He played some minutes today when Hayward went down. I think he played. I'm not exactly sure how many he played, but he was in there for sure. And I know they're really high on Ojeleye. He only played 9 minutes. Never mind, but.
I mean, really, Horford's going to have to play much better than he did last year. Kyrie, like you said, is going to have to put up 30. Jalen's essentially going to have to play how he did tonight.
Yeah.
According to numbers, I didn't get to watch the game. According to the numbers, except he's going to have to be better than 2 for 8 from 3.
Yeah, he was really good in transition today.
Jalen, you're really going to. I don't really know about getting anything from Ojeleye. It's really. Jalen is going to need to show that he can shoot, and Tatum is going to have to fit into the offense.
Yeah, I mean, Tatum did look solid today. He had a couple of nice moments on LeBron, but obviously he's up against LeBron. It's going to be tough to stop LeBron. He got swatted a few times by LeBron, which was kind of like welcome to the NBA moment. I don't know. I just think the Celtics are kind of screwed. At least, this season, obviously, they're pretty set up for the next few years, but I
just don't think that there should be any overreaction to really anything right now.
No. I mean, again, I just think the Celtics, just because of the lack of Hayward. I mean,
all right. Well, where did you have Boston before the Hayward injury? Did you have them the 2, the 3?
I had him at number 1. I thought they're gonna win.
So because one player gone, and yeah, he's a really good player. He'd go from 1 to what, like 6 or 7?
I think the margin's really thin. At least 1 through 4, it's thin, and then it's up in the air with 5 to 8.
I think 4, but like. Yeah, I can't see lower than. I definitely can't see lower than 5.
I mean, yeah, it's gonna take some teams who aren't expected to do super well to do well. Again, like the Heat and the Bucks, and really that's it. The Sixers, that's really it. But it's a really rough injury. I feel really bad for Gordon Hayward. He looked like he was in so much fucking pain. Like.
Yeah, and his face. If you're saying good about saying karma, you're a piece of crap.
Yeah,
it's flat out, full stop. Doesn't matter. You should consider yourself a piece of trash.
Yeah,
no one should go through that, except who I said in or before, a wonderful leader. He can suffer that for all I care.
Yeah.
But, yeah. There's something bigger than sports, and I don't care if Gordon is a Celtic. If you're a Utah Jazz fan or a Laker fan, and you're saying good, and that he's some type of traitor, the NBA is a business. They would have traded him away in a heartbeat if they could have gotten someone better. So
yeah. I mean, this is also why, go get that money for anyone who's
Yep.
a free
Yep.
agent now. You just go and get as much as you can. This could
Yep.
happen.
Never, ever, ever, ever leave money on the table.
Dirk is
Never.
lucky he stayed so healthy his whole career.
It ended up coming back to bite Dirk in the end, in my opinion, but whatever.
It did, but I mean, Dirk is Dirk. He's one of the greatest players of all time. But
Yeah, but Dallas has not been good for a while now.
yeah, I mean, yeah, they haven't. Anyway, pairs out to Hayward. Hopefully, he gets back soon. Definitely one of the. I mean, one of my favorite guys in the league, but he's like one of like very nice guy by all accounts. So I'm hoping he comes back as soon as he can and as healthy as he can. All right, next team. Oh man, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt to talk about this team. Brooklyn Nets.
They're gonna be fun. I don't think they're gonna be very good.
Fun. They're gonna be fun. Obviously, the big addition.
The D'Lo trade. I still say that if we could have gotten 22 or LeVert, I would have been much better with that trade. But whatever.
Yeah, D'Lo's gonna be fun on that team.
They are gonna be fun. D'Lo, Lynn, LeVert, Rondé Hollis, Jefferson,
Crab
is going to shoot like crazy. I mean, they're all going to shoot like crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly what they're really going to do with the 5.
Oh, I believe it's Timo.
It's going to be Mozgov, but I mean, like,
and like Booker sometimes, or if they just want to just go full young, they can go.
I'd go full young and go Jared Allen, to be honest. But they're not going to be good. They're going to be fun. They're going to be more entertaining than they have been.
D'Lo's going to put up some numbers this year. I'm expecting a couple 40+ games from him this year, to be honest.
The thing they're going to have to, they have DeMar Carroll, so he's not very good anymore, but they did get Toronto's first and second round pick.
Jeez.
So
DeMar might start, actually. He started a couple games for them in the preseason.
Yeah, and he wasn't good in Toronto. Maybe he gets rejuvenated in Brooklyn. I don't know. He talked a lot of crap about Toronto. So maybe it was just a bad situation. I mean, he still should have shot better, but who knows?
Yeah, I mean, they're really one more season until they get their pick back.
Yeah, last year finally.
Yeah, last year.
Poor Brooklyn.
But I will say that the front office has done a very good job rebounding. They've done a very, very good job.
Marks and then of course like Kenny Atkinson, like that's an enviable front office and coaching staff in my opinion.
Yes, for sure. I mean, getting D'Angelo for what they did, they really only gave up a pick and Brook Lopez. I mean, Brook Lopez was going to be gone anyway.
Yeah. They have been looking to move Brook for like 2 years. Let's not say that we stole him.
No, we didn't steal Brook from them at all. I mean, they have they have a lot of young guards I like. I mean, obviously D'Lo, Jeremy Lin is better than what people think. LeVert is fun. I mean, Whitehead, Dinwiddie sometimes. What's his name? Kilpatrick. I mean, they just have fun guys. They have Crab, RHJ. I mean, they can just go full young. They have shooters, and like Joe Harris is a good shooter. I mean, they just have a fun and fast team, pretty much. They're going to lead the league in pace again, probably, or be in the top 5 in pace. D'Angelo's going to put up 10 3-pointers a game.
I forgot they got Tyler Zeller. That's an interesting pickup. I think he's a little better than Boston gave him credit for. But, like a starting on ESPN, which their depth chart doesn't really mean much, of Lynn, Russell, Crab, Carroll, and Mozgov. I mean, you switch in Rondé Hollis Jefferson at the 4, and then like Tyler Zeller at the 5. That's a fun lineup.
Yeah.
Also, I mean, like Karis LeVert's going to make his way in there, so maybe move D'Lo back down to the 1, move Crab back to his more natural 2, or you could just put Karis LeVert at the 2. They kind of ran that in summer league without D'Angelo. There was Dinwiddie, LeVert, not Crab.
I think Kilpatrick or Whitehead, one of them.
Yeah, and then Hollis Jefferson at the 4. because they're making him a 4, and then I can't remember who they had at the 5 because Jarrett Allen was hurt.
Yeah, he didn't play Allen.
I can't remember who they had at the 5. But anyways, it was a very fun.
Yeah.
Again, they're going to be bad. They're probably going to lose 60 plus, but they're going to be fun.
Yeah, I mean, every 20 plus and 5 plus 20 plus point 5 plus assist game that D'Angelo has, I'm gonna be very sad inside.
Yeah, I have to move on.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to. It's tough sometimes. But yeah, I think they're gonna be a little better than what you think. I think around 25 to 27. Things could.
They could beat up on the East. I mean, like anyone could beat up on anyone in the East. So
yeah, yeah. I'm gonna try to watch them as much as I can. Honestly, just mostly because of D'Angelo, but I love Karis LeVert as well. So, all right, moving on to the New York Knicks. So they're like in the middle or the very beginning of the rebuilding stage. Obviously, they have KP.
But I want to talk real quick. Those are he and their pick this year are obviously going to be the highlights. They are not going to get enough talk from a lot of general fans of how bad of Joakim Noah and Tim Hardaway Jr. Those contracts are god awful. They're so bad.
I can see Tim Hardaway kind of redeeming it a little bit.
It was $70 million, man. Like
I can see Tim Hardaway going off for like a 40-point game. But I can't see Joakim Noah doing it.
It doesn't do anything for 4 years.
I don't know.
I know, like I started to like him at the end of the year last year, but like, yeah, it was a 4 year, $70.95 million contract. He's gonna have to score a lot of 40-point games for that to even come close to being a good contract. Like that was so dumb. They bet against themselves. Like no one was gonna pay Tim Hardaway that much money. They probably could have got him for like $450. Which
wasn't that Atlanta was gonna offer him that? I think they're ready to offer $450.
I'm sure they were.
I could have sworn
they don't like him. They don't like him that much.
They had, or maybe it wasn't them, but there was a team that was someone was gonna try to pay for him for.
I would happily let him walk away for 4 years and $50 million, and then jump up to 4 years and $71 million. That's that's for 4 years while you still have Joakim Noah, who, like, we all love to make fun of Luol Deng and Timothy Mozgov for having the 2 worst. Joakim Noah has the worst contract in all of
not even close
basketball. Like, not only was he atrocious, but he got hurt, and then he got suspended. So like it's just an all around like, holy crap, what are you doing? Like, you should be trying to find ways to unload Noah. I mean, you can't, because the only thing they had at the time was the pick and KP, which I still say, even though, of course, like I had Dennis Smith Jr. higher than Frank Ntilikina, I still say they nailed that pick. I think Ntilikina is going to be great. But, yeah, like, they're in cap hell as well. Like, that's just – it's not a good situation. Like,
yeah, it's bad.
So bad.
They have a couple of fun young pieces. Obviously, they have Kristaps. Obviously, they have Frank. I liked the Damian Dotson.
I like that one too.
Draft pick. Ron Baker's always been. I mean, he's been a guy that people like as a backup point guard.
He's whatever. I kind of like him, but I mean, he's nothing special.
Willie Hernan Gomez is going to be.
And I forgot they have Inez now.
Yeah, they have Inez Kanter now.
I mean, he's another huge contract. And his last year's a player option. So,
oh my God, he's totally off.
You have 3 guys making over 17 and a half. Okay, 17.3. All 3 of them are making more than 17.3, and none of them should be starters anywhere.
Yeah.
You've got, oh man, that's a lot of money to a lot of nothing. And then like, I still like Courtney. I'm sorry, I keep going off on this, but like, then you have Courtney Lee for another 3 years and 30 what?
You can
$5+ million.
You can definitely.
I think so too. But like, and then Lance Thomas, who thank God his final year is non-guaranteed, but I don't know the final number on that. Like that their cap space is crap.
Yeah, I mean it's Kristaps is gonna. I can definitely see Kristaps going on off for a bunch of 30+ point games this year. I can even see him, all-star.
They're gonna have to hope that Kristaps is in the first half all year because he never performs well in the second half.
Yeah, it's they they need to hope Kristaps turns out to be the superstar that people think he is or he's going to be, because they're going to be screwed. Frank, I mean, we love Frank, so I don't know if he'll ever be a star, but he'll definitely be a solid rotation player at the very worst,
Yeah.
And then, like I said, Dotson and Baker. Dotson's a fun shooter. But really, after that, they don't really have much.
He's a really bad defender.
I said Hernan Gomez. When he got minutes, he like averaged a double.
They cut Nigel Hayes and Xavier Wrathan Mays. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Hernan Gomez is good for like a young guy. Dotson too. But then look at some of the guys. Did they cut Jarrett Jatt?
I don't know. I know they had him.
They have look at a lot of the nonsense that's on this team. Like Jarrett Jack, what? Ramon Sessions, what?
Oh, I forget. Actually, no. Do they even have Ron Baker anymore? Because I thought them two were competing for the backup point guard.
No, they still have Ron Baker. He's guaranteed $4.3 million.
Oh, okay.
Then they have Michael Beasley, who's been.
Oh my God, I'm so ready for Michael.
Who gives him a microphone?
I'm so ready for Michael Beasley this year.
Oh my word! He thinks he's like Carmelo Anthony good. Like Carmelo Anthony, like his stock is so all over the place. Like some people say he's had a great career, others say like he's incredibly overrated. But like Michael Beasley, why are you stop giving him a microphone?
I'll never forget how great he was at Kansas State, but
yeah, I know. I thought he was going to be great, and then of course, like just total bust.
Yeah, he was
like, but like, then they got Mindugas Kuzma.
Oh, Kuzminskis. Yeah.
Sure, whatever you spell it. Like, he's okay.
He's a shooter. That's really all he is.
Like, I mean, like, I don't even know what their best lineup is. Their best lineup is KP at the 5. And probably Frank at the 2 since he's a rookie. I don't think I can't even Tim Hardaway Jr. at the 3,
Courtney Lee at the 2. I mean,
yeah. So Frank honestly, at the 1.
I think they stack KP at the 4 and put Hernan Gomez at the 5.
Oh, I'm sure they're gonna do that, and it's gonna be stupid because he needs to be a 5. Like
I don't know.
Stop playing 7-3 guy. Like you're not fully maximizing him.
No, I understand what you're saying, but he's kind of like Anthony Davis, and the fact they don't want to play center.
Oh, it doesn't matter. They're like they should play where the coach tells them to play. Like I don't, especially Kristaps. Like all he is right now is hype. Like he has not produced on this level that apparently NBA Twitter thinks he has.
Yeah, people have him up in the rankings of Embiid and Kat and Jokic.
Yeah, no, he's
those three have produced
nowhere near them. Nowhere near them.
I mean, if you look at Kat and Jokic after the All-Star break, their splits are insane. They're insane. Like Kat put up 25 and 12. Like Jokic almost put up a triple double. Like he's not in that conversation.
No, he's not. He's done.
All right. We went off on the Knicks enough.
I feel bad for their fans.
Yeah, they've been.
I do like Frank and I do like KP, but that's cap hell, man.
Yeah. Moving on to potentially one of the most fun teams in the NBA, Philadelphia 76ers. Now, Joel Embiid is obviously the most important player. If he doesn't play. If he plays 31 games like last year, they don't win the playoffs. And I don't know if that's a hot take or not, but I'm not sure if Ben Simmons can drag them to the playoffs without Embiid playing at least 60+ games.
Yeah, I don't. I'm kind of like tired out on Philly because like we've just all talked about them forever.
Yeah,
They're going to be fun to watch, but I'm just kind of tired of talking about them. I guess it is interesting that like they have Ben Simmons literally running the point guard.
yeah.
I mean, we kind of all knew that, but like they literally don't even play like a pseudo point guard a lot
So
of the time.
something interesting. Fultz is not going to start the season starting.
That's interesting.
I believe they're going to start Jared Bayless, if I had to guess.
Yeah, I don't really agree with that, but I mean, whatever. I mean, really, like their lineup. If you're going to make Ben Simmons a 1, it should be Simmons, Fultz, JJ,
Rocco,
and Embiid.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much what I see. What I think they should do. Like I don't. Like I think end of games that's gonna be their lineup, and I think that's a really fun, potentially really insanely good defensive lineup, especially 3 through 5. If you're putting Simmons at the 4 and Fultz, Redick, stuff like that.
I don't really think Simmons is a good defender, but whatever.
He has the athleticism. I think he can get there.
Oh yeah, but he's still not a good
Covington and Embiid are elite defenders.
Andrew Wiggins is athletic, and he's still not a good defender.
But I mean, Andrew Wiggins isn't really coordinated. That's the thing. I think Simmons is coordinated.
I had this conversation with Nelson. I don't think he's a good
obviously. Our resident Ben Simmons lover.
Yeah. I do. I mean, like, when they can finally unload Jahlil Okafor on someone, that'll be kind of interesting.
I'm willing to put money that he's a Bull by the end of the season.
That would be so funny because it would be such a hilarious Bulls move.
Yeah, because he punched a guy, and so did Bobby Portis.
Oh, man. Maybe they could punch each other and see.
Oh, that'd be great.
But like I like so many of their players, like Justin Anderson. He's not good, but I like for some reason. I think that he could just be, if he could just become Virginia Justin Anderson, you got something.
Yeah.
Nick Stauskas is whatever, but then like you got TLC, who I still will give my undying love towards. Furkan Korkmaz can't defend, but he can shoot.
He can shoot. Yeah, he can
shoot.
JJ Redick is impressed by Furkan.
Oh yeah, JJ Redick is a perfect mentor for Furkan.
Yeah, he is.
Obviously, I love Fultz. TJ McConnell's a fun backup. I still don't understand the point of Jared Bayless. Simmons fun. Saric overrated by NBA Twitter, but fun. Amir Johnson just there to collect them checks as a veteran. Rashawn Holmes is insanely fun.
Yeah, as a stretch big.
Yeah, well, just as like an oop man. Like,
well, yeah, but didn't he shoot like 35 plus from the 3-point line last year? I could have swore he was like he had some really nice numbers.
I don't really care. His alley oops are some of the most fun things to watch. He shot 35% on 1.4 attempts. So if you could do that, that's great. I mean, he can't rebound.
No.
But yeah, his like right after they traded Nerlens too, he had this oop from, I think it was TJ, and it was stupid. It was just so, yeah, his rebounding percentage is 14.4%. That's awful. But yeah, it was freakish. And then of course Joel, awesome. Okafor, the opposite of awesome. Man,
if you would have told me that 3 years ago, I would not believe you one bit.
If I told myself that 3 years ago, I would have believed that.
I never thought he was gonna be this bad until I saw him play his first season.
I did.
Like, I thought he was gonna be a guy that's just gonna put up empty 20 points per game, but he's not even that.
I never saw him being a 20-point per game guy.
I mean, didn't he put up 20 his first season, and that's what I thought he was gonna be like pretty much his whole career, and then just not doing anything else.
Did he?
I think he did, or like 18 or something like that.
He did. Like, it was the most meaningless 20 points per game. That
was trust the process Sixers right there.
That was
trust the process.
Full trust the process. Like, that was
Hollis Thompson.
Have any assets, like any like actual assets on the court. It's just crappy Jahlil Okafor.
Yeah.
Watch his dad's gonna find me on Twitter now and hunt me down.
Yeah. I'm excited to see him play. I really just please stay healthy, Joel. Please.
It was 17.5 per game. But I mean, it was just watching it, like, yeah. It really didn't matter because it was awful.
Yeah. It was nothing.
It was an like, yeah. It was really bad.
It was bad.
I remember like people arguing, even like going into last year, like no, like he's still gonna be good, and I was like, no, like.
Hey,
did you watch last year?
He's a vegan now, so maybe he'll play better.
Oh man.
Oh, have you seen that Sports Illustrated article with his picture in front? Oh, no. It's the saddest thing. He's just hugging a basketball. It's the saddest thing ever.
He has a cover?
Not a cover, but like a picture for a story for him.
Oh.
And it's just him sadly hugging a basketball.
Why is anyone writing a story on Jahlil Okafor? Why did they waste their time on that?
It's like why is he so shitty now? That type of thing.
Oh, like his rebound percentage is 11.7.
Oh my god!
A center should not have a rebound percentage that bad. Like that's oh man, that's really bad.
Anyway,
like there was 11.7 last year. It was much better as a rookie at 12.8%.
Much better.
Yeah. Like he was supposed to be a decent rebounder, especially offensive rebounder, and
especially with those gigantic hands.
Yeah, he sucks. Anyway, he sucks.
Okafor is bad. There's your Okafor rant. I just need for the Sixers. I just want Embiid healthy and just to watch him trash talk with Embiid and everyone else, with Hassan Whiteside and everyone else and stuff like that.
I really just want to see Simmons and Fultz. It's really all I care about.
And all right, so last team in the Atlantic Division is maybe the best, maybe possibly the number one team in the East now, depending on what you think. The Toronto Raptors, Clayton's favorite team.
Oh yeah, they've got my favorite player on their team, man.
Well, no, they do. For being honest.
He's so wonderful. Well, I mean, yeah, they do have my boy OG Anunoby,
but
I do love Norm Powell.
Norman Kyle's awesome,
and
although he's old,
Kyle's awesome. Everyone else is just whatever. Bruno is still. Is he? His 2 years.
This is the year.
This is the year that he turns into something. I think.
Yeah.
Okay, so like maybe if OG and Bruno become something, like I'll actually find them enjoyable, but I doubt that. I do want to say they have Gonzaga great Kyle Wiltshire on there, and
Gonzaga great, Kentucky great.
Well, Kentucky great too, but like if anyone can he can do anything, it's shoots. And like I mean, I'm not gonna call him like a poor man's Ryan Anderson. I'm gonna call him like
a poor man's Jonas Jerebko. I mean, he doesn't get any playing time. I've never seen him play any sort of meaningful.
No. It's I mean, it's just really like he's a poor homeless man. Like,
yeah,
this homeless man wishes he could be like that homeless guy on. That's Kyle Wiltshire of Ryan Anderson. Like tall, can shoot, can't do anything else.
They also have two of my favorite players. My boy KJ McDaniels,
Norm Powell,
KJ, and Fred VanVleet.
Oh, okay.
VanVleet was the Frank Mason of his draft. I remember, and I remember people talking him up a lot because they really liked him as a second round guy.
And then he went undrafted.
Yeah, but like whenever I see him play, he's been good, which is weird. But
I like their ones. DeLon Wright can do everything but shoot.
He's old, but yeah,
he's like 25 now. But their fives, Bebe is okay. Jonas
didn't Bebe have like insane analytic numbers last year?
Yeah, I think on defense especially. But
his like RPM was like top 30, top 40.
Yeah, but Jakob Poeltl, man,
I don't even know why they got him. I mean,
their two top bigs. or two top fives, Jakob and Jonas. Just
I still think they should have let Kyle Lowry walk. As much as I like Lowry, I think he would have been better suited on other teams. And like, I just don't know what they're trying to do. I don't think they have any sort of chance of beating the Cavs. And once, like 2-3 years from now, I mean, Kyle's gonna be 33.
yeah.
DeMar Rosen's gonna be 31, throwing up mid-range jumpers. I mean,
Hey, he loves Kobe, so you're supposed to love him too, or so I've been told.
I still think they need to free Norman Powell. They need to free Norm Powell because whenever he gets minutes, that dude's good. he gets like actual playoff minutes a lot of the times, and he always kills it.
If they could somehow find a way to like trade Jonas and Jakob and like become like an actual like modern basketball team,
put Serge at the five.
I don't know even about that, but like just get rid of the mid-range shot. So get rid of a certain player, get rid of Jonas Valanciunas and Jakob Poeltl, and like just become more modern. Then, yeah, but I mean
they need to fire.
They're stuck in purgatory of being a really good team in the East. But it really doesn't mean anything
because LeBron spanks them every year.
Yeah, pretty much.
Also, you can't tell me that Serge Ibaka is 28. Yeah. I don't care. He isn't 28.
No way. No.
There's no way. There's no way in hell he's 28. I think with Hayward going down, I would say the Raptors are probably the favorite to make it to the Eastern Conference Finals. If somehow a team like the Wizards, Wall or Beal have insane playoff runs. But besides that, I think they'll play the Cavs and LeBron will sweep them again. Or no, they'll go in 6 because they always win in Toronto for some reason. But I don't know. I wouldn't really want to be in their position. I mean, I love OG.
Yeah, I do love OG. OG. Bruno one day is going to become a superstar. It might be when he's like.
It's gonna happen. It'll happen, and it'll be the happiest.
Fran Fraschilla told me it was gonna. He was 2 years away from being 2 years
away.
So maybe like this year or next year he'll finally do something.
Like it'll just give me so much happiness if he's a good rotation player. Just that.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on to the Northwest Division, which is arguably the best division in all the NBA. All these teams could be playoff teams, in my opinion. Let's start with probably the most intriguing team. You can toss up between them and the Thunder, but the Denver Nuggets, with superstar Nikola Jokic, top 10 player Nikola Jokic.
He may be the most polarizing guy on NBA Twitter. I've seen guys like at NBA Couchside, Kevin.
He has him top 10.
He has him, I think, 5. I think he had him 5.
And then there's guys like James Hollis at Sonny Drippin who just hate him. Not really hate him, but like,
well, he doesn't hate Jokic. It's just that like he
hates them trademark.
Yeah, trademark.
That's what he hates.
I saw Adam Morris put it perfectly. He's a top 35 player. Where in that top 35 is?
He's somewhere there.
I have no idea, but he is definitely in there. I probably have him in the 15 to 25 range. I don't know. I know his help defense is okay, but when you got a big man and he's not a guy who can really protect the rim, then I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean, like Millsap helps some, but like, yeah,
I think they're gonna be like, I think there's some doubt with like the Spurs a little bit. I mean, I don't think they drop out of the top 4, but if Kawhi doesn't play for half the season for some reason, I can see a team like them or the Timberwolves jumping to 4th. I think obviously if they don't make it to the playoffs, it's a huge disappointment. This team. I mean, I like obviously I like Jokic. I like Millsap. Gary Harris is one of the more underrated players in the league. I feel like.
Well, I mean, he got paid, so I don't know.
Yeah, he got paid.
He shot over 40%. He just needs to get the defense back to where it was a year ago.
Yeah, he was a lockdown defender a year ago.
He wasn't very good this past season.
No, he wasn't. I really like Gary Harris. I still think Wilson Chandler is a good player, like a top 50 player.
I don't know if I go that high, but I think he's between like 65 and 90, which is still like that's like a third player on a team.
I just want to see Wilson Chandler on a good team. I feel like he's always been on bad teams his whole career. The only team I can think of that was good when he was on it was maybe Carmelo and Sotomayor's Knicks. Maybe. Oh, no, he's part of the Carmelo trade.
He was traded.
Wow. Then never mind. He's been on the Nuggets for a long time. Oh my God.
Yeah. I would love to have Wilson Chandler.
Yeah, he'd be a fun 3-4, you know.
Yeah. He's a guy that I've joked around with people that I would trade like JC and like Randall for.
I remember when there was a trade rumor that the Lakers were going to trade Randall and JC for Gary Harris and Kenneth Faried.
Oh yeah.
I remember that going around everyone
and everyone thought like the gem of that for the Lakers was Kenneth Faried, and I laughed.
Oh man, that was back, man. I remember when Gary Harris was drafted, people were like, he's going to be.
I love Gary Harris.
Yeah. Honestly, I think they're a top 6 team, at least top 6 in the West. Them and the Timberwolves, I feel like I'm gonna go back and forth at the 6-5.
I think 7. I think there's 7.
Who do you have over them? Like healthy Clippers?
No, I think Portland's up there.
Utah maybe.
No, I mean like you've got. I think Minnesota's better than them. Oklahoma's better than them.
Well, yeah, obviously.
Portland. So then that leaves, you got oh crap, the Warriors. Even though they're washed now.
Oh man, nah, the dynasty's over, man.
Dynasty's over. Then you still got. I cannot doubt San Antonio. I've done it too many times. So, like, San Antonio is still going to find a way, unless Kawhi is hurt for an extended period of time.
Yeah, that's the only
if he's
for me.
If he's hurt for an extended period of time, like this goes out the window, obviously. But I think they're a top 4 team, and then you also have the Rockets. So I mean,
the best team in the NBA.
Yeah, now. I feel like I'm forgetting someone.
No, I think you're good.
So yeah, I mean, like maybe, I think Denver's 7. They could be a 6, I guess. But
yeah, I mean, I think they're gonna start Jamal Murray at point guard because they don't want to start Moutier at point guard. And I don't hate it just because Jokic offense runs through him.
Yeah, I will happily take on Moutier for all the cheap.
We'll give you a freshly used Jordan Clarkson.
yeah. We'll take on Will Barton since he wanted to be traded too.
Yeah, man. You don't. So
then we can piss Jamie off.
Oh man, Will Barton. I've always liked Will Barton too, but
I don't really care. He's whatever. He's a free agent, I think, after the year, anyways. So.
Yeah. So I think I like their starting lineup, and the only reason I'm comfortable with Murray at the point is because of Jokic. They have some other young guys off the bench. They have Juancho Hernan-Gomez off the bench. They have Malik Beasley, yes, of course. They have Trey Lyles, who people still like.
I don't see
Tyler Lydon
has so many 5s. They
do have a lot of
bigs. Wilson Chandler kind of has to be like a 3-4 when I think he's probably more of a 4. And like they have to list Will Barton at the 3, even though he's very clearly a 2. But
yeah,
at the 4, they've got Millsap, Faried. Like people still like Faried apparently. Lyles, who I never ever got the hype on him. I never understood it.
You know who loves Trey Lyles? You know who loves Trey Lyles? Billy Mack and Stu. I remember when they were playing the
No.
Nuggets at Staples, they were gushing over him and like, why did the Jazz trade him? You know, even though his trade was for Donovan Mitchell, but you know,
They're really stupid. Don't ever listen to Stu and Billy Mack. They're both morons. Tyler Lydon, they never should have drafted him that high, especially after.
you know what's funny?
Like,
after you, sorry. After you had told me like that you watched him and you're like, I'm so glad Lakers didn't get him. I saw a video like the day after of 3 straight possessions of Tyler Lydon just absolutely stuffing dudes at the rim.
Yeah, he had a good block percentage, but like I don't think he ever becomes anything more than like a 4th big.
I mean, yeah,
and like
I can see it.
Like, and they have Darrell Arthur too, who 2 years ago I think shot 40% from 3. They've got 5 4s and 3. They have wait, what? They have 1 Hernan Gomez listed as a 5.
They do. I could have sworn he was listed as a 3-4.
I mean, this is ESPN, so
yeah.
But like, so just another guy that's more of a 4. So like, yeah, but
they're gonna be.
They've got 8, 9 guys that are like a 4 or 5. Like, they don't talk about odd roster construction. They can't really trade Jamal. I mean, and they just cut Jameer Nelson because they got Richard Jefferson.
Another
3. Yeah, another, I guess, a guy that can play the 3, more of a 4 nowadays too. But like, you know, that leaves their backcourt, their 1-2s of Manuel Mudiay, Jamal Murray, Gary Harris, and Malik Beasley.
There we go. The backcourt of dreams right there.
I mean, I do love Harris. I do love Beasley. I mean, I like all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Even though Nelson would say I hate Murray. I don't hate Murray. I still just I don't get the hype. But anyways, that backcourt is going to be a hindrance. Bottom line.
I can definitely see them as one of the most active teams during the trade deadline because they have guys like, you know, a Fareed or a Darrell Arthur or like Emmanuel Moody. I can see him dumping him. They're a team I can see trying to get like more backcourt help and trying to cut out their front court. Not like trying to get someone huge, mm-hmm. but like make moves like that. But they're gonna be a fun team to watch. At least offensively, they might be bad.
Their offense is gonna be very good.
I mean, if they shoot a bit against the Lakers, then the league's in trouble. But not everyone's the Lakers. Anyway, next team, another very interesting team, of course, the Minnesota Timberwolves, who just got Jimmy Butler for practically nothing. They traded Zach LaVine, Chris Dunn, and Lauri Markkanen. That was the pick that became Lauri Markkanen. So pretty much nothing for a top 10 player.
I still don't get that one. Like, I think I'm probably the highest one on LaVine still, mm-hmm. just because I just have always loved him. He's still not very good.
No.
Dunn showed flashes, but then he broke his hand, or what did he do? Was it or dislocated a finger?
Yeah, dislocated a finger.
Like we have no idea what he is, and I didn't even have Lauri in my lotto.
Yeah.
So like
they absolutely fleeced. They absolutely fleeced.
Oh yeah. Minnesota is my 4th. It's like my 5-6 seed, which could possibly sneak in if they somehow, if Tibbs isn't 1 stupid and 2 like doesn't kill everyone. I could see them somehow making some crazy run up to like the 4 seed. I can't see them making higher than that though.
No, yeah, I definitely see that because I think Cat's gonna keep up what he put up after All-Star break.
He's gonna put up 50. You know what? 50. I'm gonna say 55, 40, and I think he shot already 80% from the 3 or from the line.
From the 3, he's the greatest player ever.
No. I meant from the free throw line.
Man, yeah, Cat's not a lot of people talked about his line after All-Star break. He put up like historic numbers for a big.
Really good. His defense was really bad though.
It was. I still think it's going to get there. I still have a lot of hope in his defense.
Yeah,
because it's just weird because he came out of Kentucky as a defensive stopper. Wasn't he supposed to be? Isn't that supposed to be his calling card? Being good defensively.
Yeah, and I mean he had potential to be this freak offensive player too, but he shot 54, 36.7, and 83. I'm going to say he's going to shoot 55, 40, and 85. I think I saw someone say 50, 40, 85, but I'm going 55, 40, and 85. He's gonna put up stupid numbers.
I don't know if this is a hot take. I think he'll make more than 2 threes a game because he's their best shooter. And
which is kind of sad.
It is, but he's also a really good shooter. But
well, if depends also on Teague. If Teague shoots like he did in Atlanta, then Teague is a good shooter.
I think
my thing is he won't have to be like the main ball handler because of Jimmy. Yeah. So that's the interesting part for me.
Yeah, that's a thing that I kind of why I didn't really love the Jeff Teague signing, because I think what you could have done is
I hated the Jeff Teague.
Either get George Hill, 1, or 2, go out and get a shooter like a JJ Redick and just run Jimmy at the 1, because he did that a lot in Chicago, and that was their best lineup. Jimmy and shooters was easily their best lineup, and they were like really good when it was just Jimmy and shooters.
Yep.
And
even when it wasn't really great shooters, it was
when it was just like Mirotic,
marginal, Mirotic and McDermott and a bunch of white guys and
pretty much, and like they won games with that lineup.
Yeah,
I love Jimmy. I mean he's just so much fun to watch. Him and Kat are going to be so much fun together. Andrew Wiggins, I'm a little worried about fit-wise with Jimmy, which is another reason why I think Jimmy at the point guard could have helped a lot more instead of having Teague who's ball dominant and then Jimmy who's ball dominant.
I think Jimmy's going to take the ball and Teague is just going to have to suck it up. But
I mean, best case scenario.
Yeah, let's move on to, we'll say the Jazz. They're probably the worst team out of everyone in this division. I still think they could sneak in somehow to the A seed.
I do too. I just love Gobert.
Gobert is really good, and Rodney Hood needs to show major improvement. And Ricky Rubio is going to steal everyone's meeting, and he is going to sex them up. I'm just letting you know. He went to Utah, and which like all the never would think of as like some type of crazy place. And apparently he's turning it now into like club sex for Rubio.
Oh, he's just getting all of the Mormon BYU girls. That's all he's doing.
You don't want the Mormon BYU girls.
Hey, he's doing it anyway. He doesn't give a shit.
I mean, I guess he doesn't have anything else to do on a Saturday night.
I know, right? Yeah, I mean, you said Rubio and Hood and Gobert. Obviously, we both really like Donovan Mitchell. He was awesome against the Lakers in that one game. He's been really good in preseason anyway. He was really good in summer league as well. I think his point guard skills have really improved, and I'm really hoping he can keep up his jump shot like he did in the preseason. That he made some really nice off the dribble, off pick and roll shots that I didn't see him make too much at Louisville. And I think I don't even want to bring up the freaking poll. I'm not going to do it, but I think Donovan Mitchell could turn into an all-star, one of the best players in this draft. I think I like it.
Their team just confuses me, but I still just with Gobert and Rubio, I think they could sneak. They're probably going to be like a 9 or 10 seed, and Favors is always underrated. He's a good player. He's nothing great, but he's a good player.
Yeah, I think. I mean, they're going to be top 3 in defense too.
Yeah,
because Gobert and Ricky Rubio. But yeah, let's. I mean, like there's not really a ton to talk about with the Jazz. I mean, so I think we're going to move on to obviously
the Blazers.
the Trailblazers, and then we'll move on to the big boy. Trailblazers were really good after they got Nurkic last year.
Yeah,
they were either 11-4 or 15-4. I know it's kind of different, but they were something like that when they got Nurkic, and Nurkic put up some really nice slashes. Hopefully he's okay from his leg injury he had. I know he had surgery on it in the offseason, but he looked fine in preseason. So if Nurk plays like he did end of season, I think they can be as good as a 5 seed. But that would take a lot of Nurk being the same and McCollum and Dame having career years, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Their draft confused the heck out of me.
Biggie.
And behind Dame and McCollum, like I still love Pat Connaughton, like athletic white guy, but Shabazz Napier sucks.
Shabazz.
And Dame and CJ are gonna have to play like 38 minutes a game. Like,
I still don't know how the Trailblazers didn't pick up a guy like what's his name? Dude on the Clippers, point guard. They got Jawan Evans, or like Josh Hart,
or like Derek White would have been
Derek White. Yeah, Derek White too.
Good player for them. But and I understand that analytics loves Zach Collins. I was not as high on Zach Collins as everyone else, especially when you think that Josef Nurkic could be like a building block, and he's only 22.
Yeah, he's pretty young. He's a restricted free agent too, so he can get some money regardless.
Yeah, it says he's 23. He just turned 23 in August, so like he's still young. You needed another 1-2. You needed another 3, and you took Zach Collins, who I don't. After watching him more, his lack of length and lack of explosiveness just really concerned me. And then Caleb Swanigan was, I think, the biggest laugher for me in the first round. I know people say that he's looked better, but like he's a guy that isn't someone that's going to be flying around the court, and he can stretch the floor a bit, and he's got a long wingspan, so he should have verticality on his side. But like, they needed another 1, 2, 3, not another 4. Who, yeah, I didn't get that one.
Yeah, they had a really odd draft. I mean, I really like Dame and CJ. But I'm part of Team CJ better. I will always stick to that. But I love both of them. Nurkic has been great for them. Aminu's a good defensive 3-4. They still have Evan Turner.
Aminu could shoot how he did 2 years ago. I'm looking it up again. Then you're happy because he shot 32% from 3, not this past year, but the year before. You're happy with that.
Yeah,
he shot, and that's on 4.3 attempts a game. That's good.
They were able to dump the Allen Crabbe contract, but they still have the Evan Turner contract.
I would have much rather tried to dump the Evan Turner or the Myers Leonard contract.
I forgot they have a lot of bigs. Jeez, who aren't like athletic.
So guys, they obviously had picks 15 and 20, and they moved up to 10 to get Collins. At 15, a guy that went was Justin Jackson, a guy that they could have probably used at the 3. At 20,
they totally could have got Donovan Mitchell at 10 and had him as their 6th man. Holy crap!
Yeah, I mean, there was a big glut of bigs, and like a guy, depending on your opinion on him, Terrence Ferguson was an interesting guy that they could have had. OG was a guy that they could have had before, obviously, 23. They could have had Derek White, Josh Hart. If you go to the second round, there's Wesley Iwundu, Frank Jackson, even Devon Reed. The list goes on, and they took 2 big men. Like they not only like not only was picks 15 and 20 according to was it Arnovitz, I think? I think it was Arnovitz. One of them, some big draft guy was like, yeah, 15 and 20 should have gotten you a pick like top 6 or 7. I don't really agree with that, but not only did they take guys that I was much lower on, they were taking them at positions that they didn't need.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, I'm all for drafting the best player, and Collins could be the best player at 10.
Yeah.
I don't think he is.
No.
But then, like at 26, why the heck did you take Caleb Swanigan?
I don't know. He's pretty much like
there's so
athletic
many,
Myers Leonard.
so many guys that went after him. Like I named all those like Frank Jackson, Devon Reed, Wesley Owudu, Frank Mason.
Mason would have been awesome.
I would have gone Jonah Bolden instead of Caleb Swanigan. I don't even like Ivan Rabb, and I would have gone with him instead.
I mean, if you want to go with a big man, they should just went with Kyle Kuzma, you know?
Yeah. Or Jordan Bell.
Yeah, Jordan Bell. I mean, at least get you a guy who's going to be different.
Jawan Evans was the guy that they could have desperately used for backup because Shabazz isn't any good. Dwayne Bacon is a 3 that they could have possibly used. Tyler Dorsey's a shooter, you know, a guy that they would have loved to have at the 2. Damian Dotson, Sterling Brown, like a lot of these guys, Thornwell, you know, a guy that Lakers Twitter loved. I didn't, but you know, all these guys, and they took Caleb Swanigan. I
mean, even like Thomas Bryant too, to a certain extent.
Yeah,
because he's just different from all those guys. I don't know. It's like a super confusing for them. They're putting a lot of weight on Dame CJ and
they're putting a lot from that draft on Zach Collins, and I know some people had him even top 10. I mean, technically he went top 10 because he went 10, but like I had seen people that had him like 6 or 7. I don't see that.
Yeah, I think like in the longer term they're kind of in a weird spot, but in the short term, as in this season, like if everything clicks, that team looked really good with Nurkic, and I can see them be 7 or 6, something like that. But then there's a good chance that they can just completely bust, you know, and then just drop out. Which, I mean, I guess this draft is filled with bigs. Actually, I don't know. I don't know why I said that. This upcoming draft is filled with bigs. There's not many guards in there. I don't even know. They're in a weird spot. But I mean,
there's plenty of wings next draft, but it's just
we'll get into draft another time. But
last team, because I need to go to bed.
Okay.
Is Oklahoma City Thunder. I think that they're going to be a top 3 team. I'm not super high on the Carmelo, but I don't really think he's as great as people still think he is. I thought what was the SI ranking where he was like in the 50s. I thought that was totally fair. Maybe he probably should have been a little higher, but I didn't think it was like, holy crap, you know. Paul George is a top 15 player.
Yeah. I actually think Paul George is going to have a harder time adjusting than Carmelo does.
I think so too. I'm the low man on Westbrook, I think, but
he's still a top 10 player too.
I mean, he's still top 5. He was MVP for a reason. He had a hell of a year.
Yeah.
So like, they've got a lot of talent. They got rid of the cancer deal, which was a miracle.
Yeah, and the Oladipo deal.
The Oladipo deal. It's just they signed Westbrook to a mega extension. It's just, you know, Carmelo and Paul George could leave.
They could. Russ can. No, never mind. I don't know why. Russ decided. He just signed his extension.
They're an interesting team. I think that they're obviously super top heavy, but they had some pretty good signings. Well, really one good signing in my opinion was Patrick Patterson.
Yeah.
That was a great signing. Jeremy Grant is an interesting guy. Nick Collison is done. Dakari Johnson, who knows about him? Kyle Singler has been bad. Josh Hustis has never turned into anything. Felton depends on if he decided that he wanted to eat too much fast food. And then obviously Andre Roberson is fun on defense, can't do anything on offense. And then I do like Alex Abrines and Terrence Ferguson.
Yeah,
so, like,
Abrines was a good shooter last year for them.
Yeah, so like they're going to be a good team. They're maybe going to be like 9 deep, 10 deep.
Yeah.
Which is 10 is fine, just as long as they're not running like a eight man bench, that would be bad. Or 8-man lineup rotation, that'd be bad. But
yeah.
They're top 3, and then Steven Adams is just, I think he's talk about a guy who got paid and then like people still don't realize how good he is.
Yeah.
I think Adams is still really good. He's not like my typical favorite type of big man, but he's just very solid.
Yeah. I do think, I mean, I think I understand the argument of people trying to say Thunder are better than the Rockets or they have a better chance of being the Warriors in a final series. I've always been higher on the Rockets personally. I just think the moves they made outside of, Chris Paul were just a lot more impactful than the Thunder's moves around their star players. And obviously we saw tonight how important Tucker and Mbamute were to be in the Warriors tonight, I mean, I know Steph had a bad game and Draymond got hurt and stuff like that. Obviously, the Warriors are still going all the way, but it's I'm still Rocket side when it comes to that argument. But I think that's it. Do you have anything else to add on the Thunder?
No. I would like to see if they can somehow add and they added our favorite PJ Dozier as a 2-way contract.
Number 35, PJ Dozier.
Gave him number 35. They're going to be good. The question is just how good. Like right now, I say that they're going to go top. They're going to be a top 3 seed in the Western. But like, I mean, if they fell as far as 5 because they didn't gel, it wouldn't surprise me. Or 6. I mean, I don't think that they're going to fall that far.
That'd be bad.
But yeah.
Paul George is for sure gone if they drop the 6.
Yeah, I think he might be gone regardless. But whatever.
PG to LA. Oh man, all right. I think we're gonna stop after those two. Those 2 divisions. We're planning on finishing the other 3.
Yeah.
As soon as probably in the next few days or so. And then once we get that done, we're gonna start bringing other content, more current day. Content, including I still really want to do draft. I'm very excited for a draft podcast eventually.
Yes. We need to bring Nelson back from the dead.
Nelson needs to not be dead anymore, and hopefully we can talk about how much we love Hamidou Diallo and Bruce Brown and Lonnie Walker.
He's just going to keep repeating Michael Porter Jr., Michael Porter Jr., Michael Porter Jr. over and over again.
And then we're going to keep repeating Luka Doncic.
Yeah.
All right. So, yeah, we're pretty much just on that. You can follow me at Merge Christian. You can follow Clayton at Lakers 1949, correct?
Yeah. If you don't know what 1949 is, you guys should quit being Lakers fans.
Gosh, freaking Lakers fan. I had no idea what it was when you changed it to it. I'm not gonna lie, but you can follow the pod at Under the Bus Pod. And yeah, thanks for joining us. If anyone joined us, and
we need to build back the
following. The Lakers following. That's gonna be tough, but we can do that. Man. All right. We'll see you guys later. Peace.
All right, bye.